I think a winemaker is part farmer, part chemist, part chef, part storyteller, part salesman. I've actually been making wine for 13 years now, and what I get really excited about winemaking is kind of the coming together of all my interests and my passions, which are earth sciences and study of the soil and understanding soil, soil chemistry, plant science with the viticulture aspect, sustainable agriculture, and then the aesthetic aspect of wine, where you're sort of taking these traditional artisanal crafts that have been going for thousands of years, applying science to it, but also having this sort of ethereal aesthetic side that I think there's nothing like it. We're going to taste a barrel of 2005 Pinot Noir from our estate ranch here, La Rinconada. This is something we do on a regular basis to evaluate the wine's progress. This wine has been in barrel since October, and it will remain in barrel until August. And we look at the evolution of the wine, how the fruit characters are developing, how the body of the wine is also coming into balance. We're in the Santa Rita Hills appellation, which is becoming known as one of the best Pinot Noir growing areas of certainly California, if not the world. With this cool climate and ocean breezes and fog that we get, we have a nice purity of fruit, retention of acids, and generally a nice structure and mouthfeel that consistently we find in the wines. Flavors of strawberry and rhubarb and cherry are really, really shining through on this wine. This is actually one of our more delicate lots, but just the purity of fruit is something that will really add complexity and brightness to our, at least our Santa Rita Hills blend, if not our special bottling of La Rinconada. We feel that our 2005 vintage is progressing very, very, very beautifully right now, sort of across the board of varieties of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir and even our Pinot Grigio. They're becoming very wine-like at a very early stage, meaning that the flavors are developing and coming together a little bit more advanced than we would typically see. These are our two most popular wines. So our Chardonnay, Santa Barbara County, and our Pinot Noir, Santa Rita Hills. And we call these the flower labels, as you can see, because of the beautiful wildflower paintings on them. The Chardonnay is primarily from this vineyard, the Rinconada, a little bit from Sanford and Benedict, but also includes some fruit from Santa Maria, the Bien Nacido vineyard, which is quite famous. It's a blend of stainless steel fermentation and barrel fermentation, and we're really looking for the bright tropical fruit flavors that Santa Barbara County produces with this very cool climate and coastal ocean breezes, so it's fantastic. Pinot Noir is certainly the other great grape of this region, where we get very bright cherry flavors and good acidity and nice structure. It's kind of becoming known as one of the best regions for Pinot Noir in the state, and I think very quickly it will be the best region. So these are our big hitters. These are our great wines. We look at our wines, and they certainly pair with very, very fine dining, and they're in many high-end restaurants, and that's great. But we also think about what normal people eat and what we eat, and it's not, you don't necessarily, create, culinary masterpieces on a regular basis. So, good food and good wine don't have to be complicated. So, in our area, we're very fond of barbecue and of Mexican food. So there's a lot, and both Pinot and Chardonnay can be pretty versatile wines and go with a big range of foods. As a winemaker, it's really important to get other people's opinions, because I certainly have a palate, and I know what I like and what I look for in wines. But it's also helps keep me honest, just to always get a some feedback from what other people think, since I'm certainly not going to be drinking all the wine. The goal of this winery was, besides obviously making something for the highest quality wine production, was to make something really true to the area. So you notice that, I mean, the outside of the building is handmade adobe bricks. The stones in here are quarried locally. Now, there's some really cool elements to this place. You know, it's functional, but it's beautiful, and it has a, you know, for a new winery, because it's only 5 years old, it really has a feel of something that's, you know, just belongs here and is kind of part of old California. You probably noticed when you came in, you know, we have a whole bank of those open-top tanks. We have 21 open-top tanks out there, which, you know, having 21 of those, it allows us to keep all of our vineyard lots separate, because, you know, this isn't a large property, but we actually have, in Rinconada, we have 14 different blocks of Pinot Noir. This is one of our 4 wine tanks that's operated on a hydraulic lift that can either be lowered or raised approximately 30 feet, so that we can use gravity flow to fill the tanks or to fill barrels. It's a way of getting away from using pumps, and it's a very gentle way of treating the wine, which is especially important for a delicate variety such as Pinot Noir. So I'm definitely hands-on with the vines, and I try to do as much of the pruning myself as I can. I like to feel physically connected to them, and I spend as much time as possible out in the vineyard. You know, and if the weather's right in the summer, I might even camp out here. And it's sort of the combination of all my interests, and I can't really think of anything else to do that I could do that could even come close to matching that satisfaction.